watching SportsBeat.
Of accurate sports happenings.
Good evening, Paul James.
Haynes comes down, goes all the way in, puts it in.
Good afternoon, college football fans. 20, 25, 30.
With North, Welty, and James.
And welcome to one of the most intense and certainly one of the most interesting college football rivalries anywhere in the United States.
A pass back to Steve Young. Young at the 20, the 10, the 5, touchdown.
Paul James and sports. Most people don't think of one without the other.
Hi there, everybody. Tonight we will pay tribute to the voice of the Cougars, Paul James, who passed away at the age of 87. Paul spent 24 years at the sport desk here at KSL, and of course, he was the voice of the Cougars for over 40 years.
Yeah, we'll take a look back at his iconic career and hear from those who worked closely with Paul in a few minutes.
Pass inside. Here it is! There it is! Energy. Oh, no! Oh, yes! You see how far back he caught that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm looking forward.
It's time. Let's do it.
It is. After going 5-0 in the preseason, it is time for the Utah Jazz to begin playing for real.
It all starts Wednesday in Sacramento. The home opener Friday night against the world champion Warriors. This season, it's going to be a lot of fun.
I'm not rookie no more. Yeah! Sorry.
I think when you have guys around you that constantly believe in you and then they show that with their actions, I mean, it makes you feel like the sky's the limit. And like I said, we have a great group of guys, and they just make coming to work fun every day.
It has to be fun. You know, we have competitors, and when we feel like we're playing good as a team, everyone enjoys it. And that's the mentality we have, and that's the mentality we want to have every night.
The depth of this team, and always the saying, the strength of our team is our team. And, you know, to see everybody out there who doing their thing is really special.
Yeah, the regular season. It's a totally different game than tonight. We can't expect anything to be the same. You know, both teams have some time before the game, and I think at this point in the year, people want to, you know, I know the players want to get going, and so do we.
It's been a long summer in preseason, so we're ready to get going. We got a few days to get correct, and we'll be ready.
Ready? Let's go. Let's get the season started.
Yes, let's get it started.
Let's do it.
About time. All right, now to baseball, Game 2, American League Championship Series, Red Sox and Astros.
After dropping Game 1 at home, Game 2 felt like a must-win for the Red Sox. Tied at 2 in the top of the third, one on for Marwin Gonzalez.
Whammy!
That was over the monster.
Did you just Ron Burgundy?
Astros out to a 4-2 lead. Bottom of the inning, another whammy. Bases loaded for Jackie Bradley Jr. That one's off the monster. A base-clearing double.
What the moon is made of cheese?
Put the Red Sox in the lead for good. They even the series with a 7-5 win. Sorry for that.
All right, when we come back, we will break down the weekend of college football.
Reverse. Covey. He's going to throw it to Huntley.
Hey, everybody's a winner.
Yay!
This weekend. David and Sly will join us to explain how the huge Cougars and Aggies got it done.
Young at the 20, the 10, the 5, touchdown.
And we remember Paul James, a look back at his career and hear from those who sat beside him here at KSL.
He will get it into Ainge. Paxson is on Ainge. Ainge still in backcourt, dribbling behind his back. Ainge comes down, goes all the way in, puts it in. BYU
wins! You're watching SportsBeat.
31 seconds to go. It is 1st and 10, BYU. Hamilton and Stinnett in the backfield. The give is to Stinnett. A pass back to Steve Young. Young at the 20, the 10, the 5, touchdown. A trick play.
You recognize that voice right off. 8 days ago, we lost a very special man, not only to our KSL family, but to many of you who have watched Channel 5 and listened to BYU Sports on KSL radio over the years. Paul James passed away at the age of 87.
Yeah, Paul spent 24 years anchoring the sports right here at KSL and was the voice of the Cougars for over 40 years, calling more than 1,300 BYU football and basketball games. He also called youth games before that. Here's a look back at his iconic career and thoughts from those who knew him best.
Weeknights at 6 and 10, we've got Norris, Welty, and James.
He'd go out on the air and just tell you the sports. He knew what he had there. He had a photographic memory. He really did.
Paul James in sports. Most people don't think of one without the other.
And he got on the air and he talked to everybody in Utah, and we trusted him because PJ was himself. He was the guy that lived right next door to each and every one of us.
Okay, well, that's the problems on defense. You have any other problems?
Well, we got a problem on offense. You know, in the past, we've always tried to throw the ball, but now I understand we're going to try and throw it.
You're going to throw the ball?
We're going to throw the ball, and we're going to throw a lot of passes. I believe that's the way we say it. I'm not sure.
He was special. He was special. He was one of a kind. And iconic, yes. And he leaves behind a great legacy, not only in the Valley and around the state, but also right here at KSL.
And the Boston Celtics did not score a field goal in the last 2.5 minutes of play.
I don't even know what I did to deserve to be there right out of college, but to be Paul's understudy, it made a profound difference in my life and my career, that's for sure. What I saw in Paul was someone who, on the air, was who he was off the air. There was a naturalness about PJ on the air that wasn't anything he had to work to do.
Opened the door and I said, who should I credit? And geez, it sounded like a herd of elephants went down the road.
I still see him with that look in his eye, that smile. He wore a smile 365, 24/7. He was a special friend and someone truly that I looked up to, and I always will. God bless you, PJ, and God bless all the folks at KSL and the state of Utah.
Paul had more to his life than just sports, and I really respected that. Paul was a master bridge player. Paul was a poet. Paul was a painter. Paul was a piano player.
But he wanted to do all of these things in life, and he put his mind to it one at a time. And he did all of this after he retired from sports and broadcasting. He's a fantastic, amazing man. He really was.
And when we arrived, they told us it was about the football season. We weren't aware that Utah had played any football this year.
I enjoyed the adversary, and he was a tremendous adversary. Paul was always a friend and was always a competitor, and we always had a lot of fun on the air.
You and Shelly, this is the first time I've ever partied with you.
Kill. Get him.
Good afternoon, college football fans.
Oh, yeah, you've been wrong most of the time anyway.
I'll be shining shoes the rest of my life.
That's why you're shining my shoes now.
Let's be honest. Let me move in here. There isn't that much difference, really, between you and me, is there?
I don't think there'll ever be another guy like Paul James. Never.
There won't be another Paul James, no.
Yeah, Paul James was one of those once-in-a-lifetime sports broadcasting icons. And I remember the first communication I had with Paul, 1984, sitting in my basement trying to figure out how to get into the sportscasting business. So at 10 o'clock on a weeknight, I called KSL. They transferred me to Paul, and he spent 10 to 15 minutes giving me advice, pointing me in the right direction. And I thought that was pretty cool at the time that he would spend that time with me, someone that he had never met. It wasn't until a few years later when I got into business and I realized just how special that was, because at 10 o'clock, when you're getting ready for the 10 o'clock news and it's crunch time, you're on in 20 minutes, you don't have time. You're too busy. You're getting prepared. And yet he still took that time without hurrying, and he talked to me and nobody. Paul James left a legacy here at KSL, Jeremiah, that all of us sportscasters have tried to live up to, and you know what? We never will, because Paul James was our icon and a very special human being.
Yeah, well said.
Yeah. And so we'll try, though.
We'll do our best. But he inspired a generation of all of us, and we've all tried to capture that professionalism and that fun that he was able to. It's not easy to do that, but he is a standard that we're all trying to achieve.
Viewing and funeral will be Tuesday morning on 5850 South, 900 East, if you want to pay your respects. All right, now to the weekend of college football. Late last night, BYU with its best offensive performance of the season, a 49-23 win over Hawaii.
Yeah, Zach Wilson is the youngest player to ever start at quarterback for the Cougars. You couldn't tell by watching his debut. He was special.
Yeah, he was a spark plug for sure in his first start for the Cougars. It started right here with a 23-yard touchdown run. Wilson also threw for 3 touchdowns, 16 of 24, 194 yards and an interception. His Cougars rolled up 474 yards of total offense in the win.
Going into it, we felt like he, in the competition, especially over the last couple of weeks, we felt like it was good enough to give him the the starting spot because he deserved it.
20, 15, 10. Oh, he's going to go. 5, touchdown, Cougars.
When the offense is rolling like that and it kind of takes some pressure off the defense, I think we play more free. We make a lot more plays just because we can kind of, you know, gamble or take some risks that I don't think we usually would take if it was a tighter game. But to be able to have the offense, you know, put us in that position, it helped a ton.
49 points. That's pretty dang good for an 18-year-old kid to come in and play as confident and to be as confident as he was. To be honest with you, I don't think a lot of kids could do it.
It really put an emphasis on us believing in ourselves, and I just saw that tonight. I felt like that's what, you know, we were doing out there. We were just believing in ourselves and believing those around us, and I felt like that made probably the biggest difference.
Our guys are here. David Nixon, former Cougar. Stevenson Sylvester, former Ute, here to break this one down for us.
Yeah, made a big change at quarterback, and it seemed to provide a spark.
Yes. Kalani Sitake did a quarterback change, put in the true freshman, Zach Wilson. But that defense showed some spark yesterday afternoon as well.
Yeah, this was something the BYU defense has really struggled with, was getting pressure. In this play, we see Kyrus Tony coming up with a huge sack, 1 of 4 on the night. But you look at the front, finally Tuiaki dials up some creative blitzes. You're going to see some stunts. You're going to see Kyrus Tony go first. We call that a toe blitz. Peely comes around, and Tonga does a great job of bringing down the quarterback, Cole McDonald. They're showing an odd man front 3, and once again, some creativeness. You got Corbett Kafusi kind of stacked off the ball, rushes, just mass confusion for Hawaii, and BYU with 4 sacks. A huge bright sign for this BYU defense. They needed that.
As you said, they brought pressure. Here, they got another crazy blitz dialed up that's really special.
I tell you what, this is a BYU defense that had their will tested last week. They gave up 223 yards in Utah State. They rebounded against Hawaii, only gave up 63 yards. And a lot of it was because of this confusion. BYU, once again, showing a 3-man front, but instead they're going to end up bringing 6. They do a great job of disguising it. And what ends up happening, a good tackle for loss. Right here, Bracken O'Backery comes in untouched. Corbett Kafusi comes in as well. And what I like about this play, watch Corbett Kafusi. He comes in and he's going to get skinny. Watch the tackle right here, nose tackle as well. He occupies 2 blocks, allows Bracken O'Backery to come loose. And then once again, Corbett Kafusi getting skinny. Young kids at home, if you're watching, when you're blitzing, you don't want to come in straight ahead where you got 2 shoulders exposed. You want to minimize your surface area. Corbett does a great job forcing back into Bracken for a big tackle for loss.
Right. But the main story from yesterday is Zach Wilson. He did an amazing job coming in yesterday.
Listen, it was fun to watch Zach. This is a true freshman making his first start. And what I like about this play in particular is Zach's ability to extend the play, right? I mean, this is a kid that has great legs. He's multidimensional. But right here, watch him. He breaks the pocket. Look at his eyes. He's looking downfield for Dallin Holker. He's going to let Dallin pass the ref, and he's going to drop the ball off. But he rushed for a touchdown, which we're going to see here earlier in the game, right here. But that one, he keeps his eyes down the field. And this is what Cougar fans are excited. People are calling him Taysom 2.0. I don't know if we quite go that far yet. But you look at this play. This is a design quarterback draw. It's a 3rd and 15. He does a great job of coming up. Good blocking down the field by Impey. But watch this right here. Boom, you got to make one guy miss.
Open space.
You got a safety, open field, and you got a young guy like him that's able to put a move on him, get in the end zone. This is big time. This is what BYU fans want to see. And once again, a lot of it's coming from Hawaii, missed assignment error. He follows the running back, Kotoa out of the backfield, and Zach Wilson goes in for a touchdown. So a lot of bright spots. This isn't a fantastic Hawaii team, so it's a good team for Zach to kind of get broken in and start doing his thing. But there's some bright spots as well. The defense played well, offense played well, special teams. It was a good all-around effort.
Yeah, local kid making a shine.
I wish Kafusi would teach me how to get skinny that quickly.
We can't help you, Rod. There's no help there, man.
Okay. All right, now for the Utes, they also put it all together for the 2nd week in a row in a 42-10 romp over Arizona on Friday night.
Yeah, after a slow start to the season, that Utes offense is on fire. 495 yards against the Wildcats. The run game set the tone. Zach Moss had 15 carries for 68 yards and a touchdown. That gave Utah a 14-0 lead after 1 quarter. That opened things up for the pass game. And Tyler Huntley was terrific. 14 of 19, 201 yards and a 68-yard bomb to his high school teammate, Tamari Simpkins. The Utes led 28-0 at the half. And Huntley threw for a touchdown, ran for a touchdown, and caught a touchdown pass. Britton Covey, he was a great quarterback at Timpview. He reminded us with this gem, 58 yards. Yeah, it was a bullseye. The Utes now prepare for a showdown with USC on Saturday. South title could be ultimately decided by the result of that game.
You dominated the line of scrimmage.
Just playing assignment football. Sorry, this is my first time, so.
Do I want Colorado or USC to win? Who should I want? Yeah, it's tricky. Either way, if they could both get losses, that would be awesome.
Oh, that's great. I love it. I'm going to be pushing for a quarterback package in the next couple of weeks. No, I'm just kidding.
Tyler, have you ever had a game where you scored a touchdown running, passing, and receiving?
Reverse. Covey. He's going to throw it to Huntley. A trick play. Huntley. Touchdown.
No, it was pretty tight.
Let's go to bed. Bye.
All laughs after a big win. David and Sly back to break this one down.
Guys, this is the offense we thought we should see a month ago from the Utes.
Yeah, we've seen glimpses of it all season, right? And finally Utah puts together 4 quarters and puts together a complete game.
Yeah, it started with that first drive. They took 7 minutes off the clock, converted 4 third downs, which is very hard to do on one drive, and then ended it with a touchdown. What does that do to a defense when you just can't stop them?
Well, it's tough for Arizona coming on the road. It's demoralizing, right? And then all of a sudden you go to the next drive. We fast forward, and Tyler Huntley, fantastic job at recognizing Arizona's going to blitz 3, and he notices 8 guys dropping, but he picks apart the one guy that has an assignment error.
Right. He has more time since they're only blitzing 3. There's a guy who takes the short route for some reason, opens it up for Covey to come right behind him, and Tyler Huntley makes a great pass.
Well, one of the great things about Tyler Huntley as well is his elusiveness in the pocket. Right here, demonstrated perfectly.
Yeah, he did a great job. He might have missed his block up front, but Huntley noticing that right out the gate because it is his center, avoids him, throws a great pass to Jalen Dixon right down the field.
Well, I love this. 4th and goal. Utah lines up. They're like, hey, power on power. Let's go.
Yeah, you're at home. You got the home crowd. You need something. This is driving it to get up 14-0. You go for it on the half-yard line. Gets a touchdown for the offense.
So fast forward, big plays, I think, was the name of the game for Utah on Friday night. And right here, Simpkins, touchdown. Fantastic play by Huntley, and once again, his pocket poise.
Yeah, it's great. But this new formation by Troy Taylor is awesome. It's an NFL-style formation. He hits Simpkins perfectly. He catches them safeties with the dirty eyes, is what we said all year. And Simpkins just gets past the DBs and into the secondary, and an easy touchdown for that.
Listen, we're both former linebackers. Forget the offense. Let's talk about some defense. Fantastic job by Chase Hansen right here. He's going to get a big-time sack.
This is huge. When a quarterback, when you run in the option, what you want to do is take advantage of one player who's being sloppy with his discipline. Here you got Chase Hansen, which you don't want to take advantage of. The guy's IQ is amazing. But what he does is he makes the quarterback make a decision before he wants to. He sees the ball, and he just doesn't know what to do. He's supposed to give the ball or take it. Chase Hansen gets on him quick. He sees him. You look at Chase Hansen's eyes. Khalil Tate says he's too close. Let me pull it. And Chase Hansen reads him pulling it and just makes the play.
We call it the mesh point. Right there where the quarterback is trying to hand it off to the running back. As a linebacker, if you come in there, you look at that mesh point. If you read it, if he pulls it, you go for him. If he gives it, you go for the running back. So great job by Chase. Like you said, his eyes were perfect. Saw the quarterback pull it. Tate pulls it. Comes out the big sack.
Correct. This Utah team is really on a roll right now. I'm excited for this game against USC next week.
Do they beat the Trojans?
Of course. I'm biased. Of course.
No question. BYU do they beat the Trojans?
I say keep it going.
David,
why not?
Yes.
Why not?
Aggies continuing to roll, taking care of UNLV. The guys will break down what happened in Logan when we come back.
Staley is the tailback. Here is Doman rolling to the right side. He's going to keep it. He's at the 5. The 3. Is he in there? Touchdown! 23 seconds to go. Lavelle Edwards has led this BYU team to an amazing 34-27 victory.
Ball breakdown brought to you by Siegfried and Jensen.
Here is the snap called for. It is down. Kanashiro's kick is on the way. It hits the goalpost. It hit the goalpost. It is no good. Oh, my goodness.
He hits the post, and it bounces out to the
Kanashiro hit the goalpost on the right side.
More from the amazing voice of Paul James on some of the greatest calls as voice of the Cougars. Passed away at 87 8 days ago. We remember him tonight. All right, yesterday in Logan, Utah State continued to rack up the points, beating UNLV 59-28. Aggies' 5th straight win.
Yeah, they're rolling. There was no BYU hangover. Nope. The Aggies continue to dominate in all 3 phases.
And they would get rolling midway through the first quarter, especially Jordan Love. 24 yards to another Jordan, Nathan. And then Love will find a wide open Jalen Green. And when I mean wide, Jeremiah,
Nobody's there.
Wide. Wow. He also threw a couple of TDs to Ronquavian Tarver. Love 17 of 23, 322 yards, 5 touchdowns, and no interceptions.
Now we move on to Wyoming and to go to Laramie and face a Wyoming team that's always tough in Laramie. It's a tough win.
Wyoming at the Utah State 25. Complete to Gentry, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, going to Wyoming, I mean, they're a good team. It's a tough place to play.
You know, it's going to be us against the whole city of Laramie. Everybody's going to have brown and yellow on. It'll be an extremely tough challenge to go on the road and win, but this, we'll see kind of where we're at.
David and Sly back with us to break this one down.
There was no BYU hangover. The Aggies continue to dominate all 3 phases.
You're right. It was a special game for Utah State. Offense, defense, and special teams, they did it all, especially here on special teams in the first half. Devin Tompkins comes up with a big play.
Yeah, I love this play call by Matt Wells and his special teams. They dial up an 8 box. We talked about they have 8 guys in the box. They're going to rush them all. And you see that they do a fantastic job of causing some confusion. If you're UNLV, you've got to understand I've got to shorten my splits, and I've got to get depth to let all these guys kind of wind up. So you have 8 guys showing. They actually only end up rushing 6. They drop to 2. But in doing so, it causes confusion. The tackle blocks down, and Tompkins comes through with a big block punt. Now, this is the type of stuff when you need early in the game. This is in the first half. Continue to set the tone for Utah State. They rolled from there.
That's what you want to do to start a football game. But now we go to the man who we've been talking about all year, Jordan Love. He is amazing at the quarterback position. Here he's able to pick apart the UNLV defense.
He's still making an argument to be the best quarterback in the state of Utah. We shall see. But this is one of those plays right here where we talked about in the Utah game, dirty eyes by the safety. Once again, UNLV, dirty eyes. You can see him bite on the play action. And what happens? Boom, you got Nathan on the back end. Fantastic job of Jordan Love recognizing.
Perfect pass.
The missed assignment, perfect pass, drops on a dime.
Front left shirt
good,
pocket.
Man. Looking good. Liking it.
Yeah, but on the Utah State defense side, David Woodward had himself a day yesterday.
I love this play dial up. You're going to see Woodward here on the end. He's going to run a stunt all the way to the opposite A-gap. So we typically go to the front side A-gap. You're going to see he's going to start on this side. They're going to crash down on this play side. He's going to wrap all the way around to the opposite side of the guard. And boom, comes through the sack. 3 sacks on the night. He had a game. And it's one of those, hey, when you have 3 sacks, it's one of those games where you're like, man, nothing can go wrong for me. I'm just balling out. I'm going to keep doing my thing. But this was impressive. Utah State defense, offense, special teams, all-around solid effort.
They are rolling.
And they have a showdown in Laramie Saturday.
Feel bad for them. Nobody wants to go up to Laramie.
The frozen tundra.
Hey, he's going. He's going.
I'll be there.
Good luck.
All right, thanks,
Chasing
guys.
tumbleweeds.
We'll check with you next week.
Great clips of the week.
All right, awesome moment at Wasatch High School Friday night. Wasatch senior lineman Damian Mellors, his dad David, an active Green Beret, returning to be part of his son's senior night. And right before kickoff, Jeremiah, he surprised him. Didn't know he was going to be there.
I love this.
That's cool.
Sorry, you have to repeat it because I'm trying to listen.
Last night during the BYU postgame press conference,
I'm concerned about your...
Kalani's trying to talk and address the questions, but can you hear the alarm there? A fire alarm went off at the postgame press conference.
Don't they know who he is?
Oops.
Hope everybody's okay. Steelers receiver Juju Smith-Schuster doing a little cheerleading at a Pittsburgh high school on Friday night. And you know what? I can see that as an end zone touchdown celebration.
He's got to work on his floss, though.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
there
not
you
bad,
go.
though. That's not bad.
Yeah, there you go.
All right.
That's pretty good stuff.
Needs to play a little bit more
you do
Fortnite.
That?
No, but my kids can.
Okay, I can't. Not even.
I need to learn, I guess.
I wouldn't be able to walk in the morning. All right, your votes have been counted. Time to unveil your winner. Your choice for the top high school football play of the week when we come back. Could this be your favorite?
Dick Norris, Bob Welty, and Paul James. Outstanding in their field. Norris, Welty, and James. Outstanding in somebody's field.
All right, every Saturday night on Game Night Live at 6 o'clock, we nominate 4 plays the best high school football plays of the week, and then we ask you to go to our Twitter page at KSL Sports to choose which one you think is the best.
All right, you voted, you decided. Here is your winner. It was the game-winning touchdown from Box Elder's Connor Stevenson. Tracks the ball over his head. He catches it on the outside, staying in bounds for the touchdown. Box Elder shares that Region 5 title.
All right, we'll have 4 more choices next week. Also, every Saturday night on Game Night Live at 6 o'clock, we pack the best highlights from the week and load them up in a projector.
We say goodnight with the highlight reel. Thanks for watching.
Good night, highlight reel.